Hello everyone and welcome to another modern RP British English Ramble video. My name is Dylan, you can't see me at the moment, but I do appear on the screen a bit later on in the video, and I'm going to be hitting you with about 16 minutes of real British English conversation, so this is going to be the perfect way to improve your English listening abilities. So where am I then? Well, these are the streets of Buenos Aires in Argentina, and I've been here for about 2 months, and it's a bit sad actually because I'm leaving next week. So yeah, it's been an interesting one. I've had a lot of fun here, and I was a bit hesitant, slightly nervous about coming to South America for the first time, mainly due to the Western perception of South America, and it's kind of seen as a bit of a dangerous place. And I know that South America is a huge continent and it's just ridiculous to label it with one stereotype, but to be honest, that's just how South America is kind of seen in the UK. So when I was speaking to my friends and family, I was telling them that I was going to visit South America. They were like, oh, be careful, don't get robbed, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so luckily, I've had quite a few South American students. So I've had students from Chile, Colombia, Brazil, a lot of Brazilians. Yeah, and these are some of the nicest people I've met in my entire life. So that emboldened me a bit. It made me feel very confident coming here. And I was right to trust my gut because I've had such an amazing time here. You could argue that Buenos Aires is probably the perfect entry point for a gringo such as myself because it's kind of a mix between South America and Europe. It has a very European vibe to it. So for a European such as myself, I do feel right at home here. And I'm not European, but I do want to speak about this because we used to be European. So English people used to be European, then we left the EU like 3 or 4 years ago. But I think it's funny that we're labelled as Europeans because I think even when we were in the EU, there's a parrot there. How cool is that? A wild parrot. And also look at how well disguised that bird is. Incredible. Anyway, even when we were technically in the EU, I don't think that many British people would class themselves as Europeans. But when I was speaking to other people from different countries, so Canadians or even people from Europe, so I had 2 Austrian students as well, and they were referring to me as European. It was just quite funny because even when we were in the EU, I don't think any of us actually felt that European. I guess it's because the UK is very isolated from the rest of the EU. I mean, there's literally a massive ocean separating us. Yeah, I wasn't really too sure what these are for, because I understand the other machines, whatever you want to call them. But is this for jumping over? I don't think so, but that's kind of the only thing I could think to do with that one. And yeah, once again, was not too sure what this one's for. Maybe for sitting down and relaxing. Anyway, here we are. There's a man with loads of dogs. That's another thing I love about Argentina. You quite often see these people walking like 6 dogs at a time. Very cute. And yeah, I'm going to miss this place. Anyway, the main thing I've learned from my stay here is that, well, it's the power of befriending locals. And I knew about this. Whenever I go to a new country, I do, of course, try to meet locals. But it's so important, especially if the country you're visiting doesn't speak English, which obviously is going to be most countries in the world. And the reason why I think it's so good is because they take you to actual local spots. And yeah, this is the mandatory facial footage. And the reason why I need to put this in is because, well, firstly, at the start of the video, I did introduce myself audibly, but it's always nice to see who you're actually listening to. And secondly, because of AI, I need to prove to you that these videos are not AI. I'm actually a real person with feelings and a tripod and a camera, and a voice, and a face. So, yeah, here we are. And one thing about those up-close shots is that I always get to see how tired I look. Whenever I post these, I feel like I always look so tired. Just in life in general, I feel like I always look so tired. Kind of had eye bags for the last 8 years or so. That's how it feels. Do under-eye patches work? That's a question. If any of you use under-eye patches, or if any of you have dealt with dark circles under your eyes, please let me know what the cure is, because yeah, it's not the best look in my opinion. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, befriending locals. So the reason why I love doing this is because they take you to the local spots. And these are the places you actually want to be, because they're not tourist traps, which means they're not really overpriced for no particular reason. And it means that you are likely to be the only foreigner in that place. And that's always a good thing. Unless you're in prison for whatever reason, I think that you always want to be the only foreigner in a place, because that means you're in the right spots. You're getting the local, authentic experience. And yeah, that's what I've been doing over the last few weeks. I have made a couple of friends here because Argentinians are very outgoing and friendly. And I've seen the real Buenos Aires, and it's fun. So I've been to lots of cool cafes and restaurants and bars, and there are a lot of hidden bars here. That's one thing I've noticed. So, for example, you'd just be walking down a street and then my friend would be like, let's go into this place. And it would be a pharmacy or a deli or a chocolate shop. And I was like, okay, why do you want to go here? I thought we were going to get a drink. And they're like, no, just come with me, trust me. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Then they would walk up to this fridge and then knock 3 times on the fridge, and suddenly the fridge would burst open, and then we'd go down some stairs, and before you know it, we're in this huge hidden bar full of Argentinians, and of course, no foreigners, which is a good sign. You get the local experience. Anyway, that was a lot of fun, and it does bring me on to my next topic, which is drinking. Yeah, so I quite like drinking. I don't drink that often, but I was thinking about it the other day. There are people out there that just don't like drinking. They don't actually like the effects of being drunk, or they don't like the taste of alcohol. I'm not really one of those people. Oh, look at that dog just chilling. That's a nice dog. And that is like the perfect spot for it as well. And it's got his big stick. Ah, that's a perfect day for the dog. And this is me looking very somber. Somber? More reflective than somber, I would say. Yeah, once again, not AI. I just need to prove that to you. Okay? Right, what were we talking about? Drinking, yes. So I think it's a lot of fun. I personally like the taste of alcohol as well. I love beer. I love beer. Wine is really good. Cocktails are delicious. So I really enjoy the taste. Oh, God. So cute. Ridiculously cute. I'm always so happy when I see some animals during these recordings, because it means I get to throw it into the video, and there's something so wholesome and nice about commentating over footage of cute ducklings. I know these aren't ducklings, they're geese. I learnt that in a previous video. I was told off by some of the comments because I called them swans originally. And just look how ridiculously cute they are. I think they're called goslings, baby geese. I might be wrong. I may have just made that up. But come on, I don't really understand why they're yellow and black though, because neither of the parents are yellow and black. And I'm wondering when they lose that colour. Because have you ever seen a yellow grown-up goose? Because I haven't. I've never seen a yellow adult goose. Anyway, alcohol. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun, but it does unfortunately kind of ruin every other aspect of your life. So firstly, financially, going out and drinking is typically quite expensive, right? And then the next day you wake up and best case scenario, you're tired, and worst case scenario, you're sick and you have anxiety and you feel rubbish. You're more likely to make stupid mistakes such as drop your phone or lose your wallet or something like that. Your sleep schedule is going to be ruined, of course, for that night and probably the night after as well. You're more likely to eat unhealthy food and less likely to exercise, and it just kind of sets you back in every other area of life. And listen, I heard this fire quote the other day. Well, it's not that fire, but it's a good message. No one wants to be the healthiest person in the graveyard. Okay? You need to live your life. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have any fun. Trust me, I'm not saying that at all. You don't need to be 100% healthy the entire time. I mean, of course, obviously, I am a top athlete. You saw that from me doing all of those pull-ups and those tricep dips and jumping over all of those bars with ease. But, of course, I am also quite unhealthy sometimes as well. And it's fun. It's a part of life. I think it's important. And I would also say that even though I've just said that alcohol does kind of set you back a little bit, I think it is important socially because it teaches you how to meet new people. It teaches you how to act in certain social situations. And I love how these geese, they look like ducks. I'm just going to start calling them ducks. I know they're not, but I love how these ducks are just walking alongside the people like they own the park. Good for them. Good for them. And what was I talking about? Yes, alcohol is good for you in some ways, and it's also fun, but it does kind of ruin every other aspect of your life. But here we are. It's all worth it, especially if you're in a new country or a new city. I feel like it's a good way to get a feel for the country and a good way to meet people, as I've said before. Okay, before we get to the next topic, I just want to say if you are enjoying this video, I would highly recommend signing up to my free newsletter. Yes, every single Tuesday, I will send you a fun newsletter containing some sort of story or some sort of game, or I'll tell you some jokes or some facts about the UK culture. It's great fun. I send it every single Tuesday, and there are about 10,000 people who receive it at this point. And why not? It's completely free, and I would highly recommend checking it out. It takes about 30 seconds to sign up, and then every Tuesday you'll receive these emails, and you can unsubscribe whenever you want, but I bet you won't. I bet you'll enjoy them. Something to look forward to on Tuesdays, and the link is in the top comment. Anyway, let's talk about the next topic, which is my content. Yeah, so if you've been watching the videos lately, you'll know that the last 6 or 7 uploads have all been in this style, and prior to that there were literally no videos in this style. And to be honest, I'm thoroughly enjoying filming these videos because for the majority of this year, I've been working on this online course, and it's finished now. I'm so happy to say that it's finished because, oh my god, it's been relentless. 5 modules and 210 video lessons. 210 videos. That's more videos than I've posted on my channel in the space of 3 years. And I've done that alongside my channel during this 1 year. So I'm a bit filmed out. I think I need a few months just to chill out, and I still want to post videos, so that's why I'm sort of posting these videos where I actually get to go into nature and do some audio recording as opposed to actually being on camera the whole time. But don't worry, I will go back to the regular videos soon enough. But yeah, I'm enjoying these ones, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I know some of you have really been liking them as well. And I think the more I travel, the more interesting they'll get because I'll be able to show you different parts of the world as well. So it's one of those, but please do let me know if you enjoy these videos and if you have any suggestions. For example, next week I won't be posting this style of video. I will be posting, well, firstly I'm going to post the trailer for my course because it's finally finished and I can't wait to share it with you. It's just incredible. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life, and I'm not exaggerating. Then the day after, so next Saturday, I'm going to post a full guide to Christmas in the UK, and that won't be a walk and talk style video. It'll be a Luke's English podcast style of video where I'll be recording my screen and we'll be going through this guide together. So I have done a few of those videos in the past and they're a lot of fun to make, so I'm looking forward to that one. Anyway, I was speaking to a fellow English teacher last week, English with Finn, and some of you may know him from his Instagram account. And we were speaking about the differences between having a native teacher and an international teacher. And I think that there are pros and cons to both, obviously, but I can completely understand why you might want a native teacher because they are able to fully understand the culture intrinsically. And I think it's hard to replicate the type of knowledge about one's country that one has if they're actually from that country. However, I also think there's something to be said about an international learner who has learnt the language to such a high degree, they've become so proficient in that language that they're able to teach it to other people. And this means that they can, of course, teach you how to learn it as a second language. And that's something that native English speakers just can't really relate to. We can't teach you what it's like to learn English as a second language because it's our first language. So I think there are pros and cons. I think it also massively comes down to the teacher. So how much you like your teacher. There are so many English teachers nowadays on YouTube, on social media like Instagram and TikTok. There are so many different options when it comes to teachers to learn from. So I think it massively comes down to their personality and how much you like them, because you can afford to be picky. And I think that is one good thing about these videos, is that it does give you a chance to get a bit of an insight into my personality and what I'm like. But to be honest, I'd say that with all my videos. I do try and integrate comedy and entertainment into all of them. But if you've made it this far into the video, I'm hoping that you don't despise me. You like me enough to stay for 16 minutes whilst I ramble on about random things. Right, and that is the end of the video, so I can't believe it's already been 16 minutes. These ramble videos go so quickly. But I've been speaking at a very fast pace and about all sorts of rubbish, so if you have understood this one, then that's amazing. Well done. This is a very natural and realistic test for your English listening abilities. And I post new videos every single Friday. So if you have enjoyed this one, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Maybe even comment down below and let me know your thoughts on anything that I've discussed in this video. And of course, why not sign up to the newsletter as well? It's completely free, and every single Tuesday I will send you something fresh and new, so why not? And I do also post weekly to Spotify as well, so you can listen on the go. Once again, it's free, and I'll put both of the links in the top comment. Right, thank you so much for watching. If you would like a part 2, then I'd recommend watching this video right here. It should be appearing on the screen now, and I'll see you again next Friday for another episode. Cheers. I think this is the first time I've ever seen anyone spray paint a tree. That's